Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 116th episode of Don't Forget the Popcorn. Today, I'm making my final Oscar predictions for the 2020-25 97th Academy Awards. It's been a crazy race. One of the craziest races I've been in that I've been tracking since I started this channel, but I've been tracking the Oscars for years, much before I started this channel. This is one of the craziest ones I can remember. Like, some big categories, there's could go a lot of directions. So we're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna tell you who I think is gonna win and who I think should win. And let me tell you, who I think should win doesn't necessarily maybe reflect my favorite in whatever category. So we'll discuss that. Some of them are sewn up. I'm not going to keep you too long. We know some of them. It's been a crazy race. Controversies, people switching up, man. Like, we're going to see. Is Anora going to be big? Is it going to come up small? We will see. So, guys, do me a favor, like and subscribe. All right. Help me out. I'm trying to hit 700 subs by the end of the spring. Follow me on Letterboxd, Ralph Vader. That'll be linked below. So we're just going to go through each category and the order they have it on the Oscars website, which I believe is like alphabetical. So we're just going to go down the list and just make it simple. All right, guys, let's get into my Oscar predictions for 2025. All right, first category up, we got actor in a leading role. The nominees are Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, Timothy Chalamet for A Complete Unknown, Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing, Ray Fiennes for Conclave, Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice. All pretty good nominees. I enjoyed all of these performances, but I think this is pretty sewn up. I'm going to give it, I believe the winner will be Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, and that's also who I would pick to win. He had my favorite male performance of the year. I thought Chalamet was absolutely incredible, but A Complete Unknown was not that great to me. So I'm definitely going to give it to Adrian Brody. I thought he brought it hard in The Brutalist. Next up, actor in a supporting role. Nominees are Yuri Borisov for Anora, Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain, Edward Norton for A Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce for The Brutalist, and Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice. Now, this is the easiest one. We know who it's going to be. Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain. And as much as I like that performance, I would not pick it for my win. I would go with Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice. I thought he was absolutely incredible in that film. And I loved Guy Pearce in The Brutalist. I thought he was incredible in that. And I really loved Yuri Borisov in Anora. I thought he was one of the best parts of that movie. But Jeremy Strong to me was just, man, he really, really brought it this year. But the male actor is pretty simple this year. You know, it gets a little muddy when we get down a little bit later. But yep, Jeremy Strong will be my pick. But we all know Kieran Culkin is going to win. Next up, actress in a leading role. Nominees are Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, Carla Sofia Gascon for Amelia Perez, Mikey Madison for Anora, Demi Moore for The Substance, Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here. Now, this is the craziest race of all of them because everyone is split. It feels like everyone wants someone different to win. It's been shifting back and forth between Mikey Madison and Demi Moore, and Fernanda Torres is really the one to watch here. I am really, really thinking of Fernanda Torres could pull a big upset here, but I am going to go with one of my favorite performance of the year, probably Demi Moore in The Substance, my favorite movie of the year. And I'm picking Demi Moore to win. The narrative is there. You know, I think that she has been playing the game so perfectly. I know Mikey Madison won BAFTA, and everyone is really putting a lot of stock in that, but I really think for the Oscars that they are not going to deny Miss Moore, one of the best comeback stories of all time. But man, I'm telling you, I am very fearful for Fernanda Torres. I really want to see Demi Moore take that, and I haven't seen I'm Still Here yet. That is the only film I haven't seen on this list besides like the documentaries and animated shorts and crap like that. I know in my heart of hearts, Fernando Torres is absolutely amazing, and I'm still here. And I know I'm still here is absolutely one of the best movies of the year. I just know it. Even though I haven't seen it, I can feel it. I know it. And if Fernando Torres won, I know it would be because she deserves it. Okay? I know it would be. But I don't care. I want Demi Moore to win this Oscar. So I do think she is going to win, and that is also who I want to win. And listen, everybody, all the Mikey Madison fans, I like Mikey Madison. I liked her performance in Anora. I thought she was good. She deserves to be here. I just truthfully don't believe Anora lives and dies on that performance like a lot of people do. I know she's in every scene, but there's a lot more that goes into a movie other than a lead performance. So, Demi Moore across the board. Next one. Actress in a supporting role. Nominees: Monica Barbaro for A Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande for Wicked, Felicity Jones for The Brutalist, Isabella Rossellini for Conclave, and Zoe Saldana for Amelia Perez. I think all of these performances were pretty good. There's some I like more than others. I really, really love Felicity Jones in The Brutalist. I think she is amazing. I just love that woman. She's incredible. Isabella Rossellini, her little part in Conclave, outstanding. Outstanding. She didn't have a big role, but she really brought an energy to that movie that I think helped it out. And Ariana Grande, phenomenal. But we all know who gonna win. Zoe Saldana is who I'm picking to win for Amelia Perez. But if I were picking, I would like Ariana Grande to win for Wicked, one of my favorite performances of the year. She blew me away in a movie that really shocked me. I was very into Wicked, and I thought Ariana really carried that weight. So I'm proud of her. Unfortunately, she came home empty-handed all year, and I think that sucks, but it is what it is. All right, animated feature film. Another interesting category. The nominees are Flow, Inside Out 2, Memoir of a Snail, Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul, and The Wild Robot. Now, all year, I was like, The Wild Robot with no question. No question. Until last week when I saw Flow and I was knocked on my butt. I absolutely loved Flow. I love The Wild Robot, but Flow was by far my favorite animated film of the year and one of my favorite films of the year. It was incredible. I thought it was great, and I really see why it won the Globe. But I do not think The Wild Robot can be denied here. The Wild Robot has been doing well. It's got nominated in multiple categories. So did Flow, which is really big. I have to go with The Wild Robot. Although I will not be shocked if Flow is announced on that stage Sunday night, but I'm going with The Wild Robot for the win. But who I would pick, I am picking Flow, one of the best movies of the year. If you haven't watched it, definitely watch it before Sunday. It's amazing. Next up, animated short. Now, I've seen none of these, but I've heard some things, so I'm going to pick based on the little research I've done. The nominees are Beautiful Men, In the Shadows of the Cypress, Magic Candies, Wonder to Wonder, and Yuck. And I'm going with Yuck for the win. Heard some good things about it. It seems to be the one that people think is going to win. And I really can't tell you who I want to win because I've seen none of these. So Yuck it is. Next up, cinematography. Nominees are The Brutalist, Lowell Crawley, Dune Part 2, Greg Fraser, Amelia Perez, Paul Guham, Maria, Ed Lackman, Nosferatu, Jaron Blaschke. I actually think all these nominations are pretty good. I might slide out Amelia Perez and maybe throw in something like Nickel Boys or Challengers. This is, I think, going to The Brutalist, which I adored that movie and the cinematography in it. And I really love Dune cinematography. I thought Nosferatu had some great cinematography. And Maria, gorgeous cinematography. So I'm going to pick The Brutalist to win this. That's who I think is going to take it. But if I was picking out of these, I would actually go with Maria. I absolutely love that movie, and a lot of people did not, but I adored it, and I thought it looked incredible, and I thought it had some beautiful shots. So that would be my pick. But The Brutalist is definitely taking this. Next up, costume design. Nominees are A Complete Unknown, Ariane Phillips, Conclave, Lissy Crystal, Gladiator 2, Janty Yates and Dave Crossman, Nosferatu, Linda Marie or Murr, Wicked, Paul Tazwell. I think all of these movies had great costumes, especially Nosferatu, though it had some great costumes. Conclave, some dope costumes. But I'm going to pick Wicked for the win. I love the costume in that movie, and I think that Wicked is going to take this. And it's actually hard to say who I want to win because it would come for me. It would come down to Wicked and Conclave. I just watched Conclave again the other night, and I absolutely thought the costumes were just incredible. I wanted one of those robes by the end of the movie, so I think that it's going to be Wicked. But I think I'm going to pick for who I want to win. I think I'm going to go with Conclave, with Wicked in a close second. Next up, directing, a tough category to call. Nominees: Sean Baker for Anora, Brady Corbet for The Brutalist, James Mangold for A Complete Unknown, Jacques Audiard for Amelia Perez, and Coralie Farja for The Substance. Makes me so happy to see her name on here. She did incredible with that movie, and I'm so glad that the Academy is recognizing such great direction in a horror film. This race, though, comes down to Anora and The Brutalist, Brady Corbet and Sean Baker, and this one's tough to call. We know Baker won DGA, and a lot of people have put a lot of stock in that. But Brady won the Globe, he won the BAFTA, and I don't know, man. I don't think Sean Baker necessarily has this in the bag, and it's really hard to say Baker doesn't win. This category has been giving me a headache. I'm telling you right now, James Mangold and Jacques Audiard should not be here. We should have Denis Villeneuve. Denis Villeneuve not being in here is crazy. We should really have Edward Berger too. It should be them too, Denis and Edward Berger, and this would be a much more fun category. This one's hard. This one is hard, but I think I got to take the risk here, and I think I have to be honest. I do not think Anora is going to come home as plentiful as everyone else does. So I'm going to go with Brady Corbet for The Brutalist. I'm going to take a risk. I know it's kind of the dark horse pick, but I'm going to take Brady Corbet for The Brutalist to win. Who I want to win, as much as I love The Substance, and I think it is not. I think I know it is absolutely my favorite movie of the year. I think what Brady Corbet did with The Brutalist is outstanding, and it's a feat, and I think it should be recognized. So I would pick Brady Corbet to win as well. So Brady Corbet across the board, but Sean Baker is absolutely standing behind the door with a knife. Next up, documentary feature film. Nominees are Black Box Diaries, No Other Land, Porcelain War, Soundtrack to a Coupe d'Yacht, and Sugarcane. I haven't seen any of these, so I think I'm gonna go with No Other Land. I've heard things about it. Sounds good. I hope it's good. That's my pick. All right. Next up, documentary short film. Another one where I've seen none of these. Death by Numbers. I'm Ready, Warden. Incident. Instruments of a Beating Heart. And The Only Girl in the Orchestra. I've been hearing stuff about all these. Everyone's predicting different ones. I've been hearing I'm Ready, Warden, Instruments of a Beating Heart, The Only Girl in the Orchestra. So I'm going to go with The Only Girl in the Orchestra because I think it's got the best title. So that's my pick for documentary short film. Film editing. This is an interesting category, but I think this is sewn up right now. Nominees: Sean Baker for Anora, David Jansko for The Brutalist, Nick Emerson for Conclave, Juliet Weffling for Amelia Perez, and Myron Kirstein for Wicked. Who I want to win and who I think are going to win are the same. I'm going to go with Nick Emerson, Conclave for the win. And I also would pick that to win. I think the editing in there is absolutely incredible. I also think, as long as The Brutalist is, I also think it's very well edited. Same with Wicked. Anora, the editing is good, but I think it's a little bit too long, so I think that's where Sean Baker fell short. So I'm going Conclave across the board. International feature film. This one's kind of a toss-up too. I'm Still Here coming out of Brazil. The Girl with the Needle coming out of Denmark. Amelia Perez coming out of France. Seed of the Sacred Fig coming out of Germany. And Flow coming out of Latvia. All right, so I know everyone was thinking Amelia Perez had this sewn up, and I did too, until Amelia Perez just lost all that steam towards the end of the award season, obviously with the controversies and everything. Only thing that came out unscathed really seemed like Zoe Saldana. So I believe that I'm Still Here is going to win. And it's the only dang movie I haven't seen on here. But I do feel like that's what I would pick to win if I had seen it, because I just really know in my heart of hearts it's a great film and I cannot wait to finally see it. But because I haven't seen it, I have to go with Flow. I absolutely adored that film. That would be who I would pick to win, just because I haven't seen I'm Still Here, but I do think I'm Still Here is going to win. Next up, makeup and hairstyling. Nominees are A Different Man, Amelia Perez, Nosferatu, The Substance, and Wicked. I think this is pretty cut and dry. The Substance. You got to pump it up. That's who I would pick to win, and that's who I would pick if I was picking. So across the board, The Substance, although I think A Different Man did incredible in that movie. Same with Nosferatu. All right. Music, original score. Nominees are The Brutalist, Daniel Blumberg, Conclave, Volker Bertelmann, Amelia Perez, Clement Ducal and Camille, Wicked, John Powell and Steven Schwartz, The Wild Robot, Chris Bowers. I think this one's pretty sewn up now too. I'm going to go with The Brutalist, an amazing score, but I really like the Conclave score. But I also like the Brutalist score too. But if I was going to pick, I would actually go with Conclave here. But I think the Brutalist has this in the bag. All right. Music original song. El Mal from Amelia Perez. The Journey from the 6888. Like a Bird from Sing Sing. Mi Camino from Amelia Perez. And Never Too Late from Elton John. This is El Mal, no question. It's one of the best parts of Amelia Perez. And Zoe Saldana kills it there. She's going to win Best Supporting Actress. So I think that goes hand in hand. If I was picking, I would pick Like a Bird from Sing Sing. Yeah, that would be my pick. All right, next up, Best Picture. I know we're getting here a little bit soon. This probably should be last. You know what? We're going to do Best Picture last. Let's go with Production Design next. All right, Production Design. Nominees are The Brutalist, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked. This one is kind of tough because I know it seems like Wicked's got this in the bag, but I really see an avenue where The Brutalist or Conclave could even come through and take this. But I gotta go with Wicked. I love the production design. That movie is absolutely incredible. And this one's hard to pick who I would pick to win, because I think The Brutalist, Conclave, Dune, Nosferatu, and Wicked are all some of the best set designs of the year, some of the best production designs. They are all absolutely incredible, and they make their movies very stand out. I would have to pick, though, Wicked, man. There's something magical about Wicked that I just absolutely love, and I love the way that movie looks, and the set design, production design is a big part of it. So Wicked across the board for me for production design. Next up, live action short film. Have not seen any of these. The nominees are Alien, Anuja, I Am Not a Robot, The Last Ranger, The Man Who Cannot Remain Silent. Haven't seen any of these, so I'm going to pick Alien. Heard good things about that, so that's my pick. Sound. First thing, let me just say, How The Substance isn't nominated for sound is beyond me. The sound in that movie is everything. Anywho, the nominees are Complete Unknown, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. Now, I thought A Complete Unknown had no shot at any wins for Sunday, but this is one I do think they might go ahead and reward A Complete Unknown in. But I am still thinking they're going to come up short. I'm going to pick Dune Part 2 to win sound. Dune needs to win some of these below the line categories because it deserves it. Um, if I was going to pick who should win out of these, I would also still pick Dune. Next up, visual effects. Now, this one has gotten a little muddy lately. Nominees are Alien Romulus, Better Man, Dune 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Wicked. Now, this one's tough. I just watched Better Man last night, and man, I love the freaking VFX in there. I thought they were incredible. That monkey looked so real. He felt like he was just a real guy hanging out. But I know a lot of people are predicting Planet of the Apes, but I'm like, how do you pick that when there's 3 movies with monkeys in them? Like, how do you pick one over the other? I think Better Man's single monkey looked better than a lot of the monkeys in Planets. I mean, it looked good. They look fine. So for that, I'm going to go with Dune Part 2. Dune Part 2 for the win, and that's also who I pick to win Dune, what looks absolutely incredible. All right, let's get to an easy one. Writing adapted screenplay. Nominees are A Complete Unknown, written by James Mangold and Jay Cox. Conclave, written by Peter Strong. Amelia Perez, written by Jacques Audiard in collaboration with Thomas Big Gang, Leah Macias, and Nicholas Lavichite. Screwed that up. Nickel Boys, written by Ramel Ross and Jocelyn Barnes. Sing Sing, written by Clint Bentley, Greg Quidar, story by Clint Bentley, Greg Quidar, Clarence Macklin, and John Whitfield. This is a no-brainer. We all know this is going to Conclave, and that is also who I would pick for this. No questions asked. All right. This is, I think, the hardest category to call. Actually, no, this and Best Picture. But writing, original screenplay. The nominees are Anora, written by Sean Baker. The Brutalist, written by Brady Corbray and Mona Fastvold. A Real Pain, written by Jesse Eisenberg. September 5, written by Moritz Binder. Tim Feldbaum, co-written by Alex David. Or The Substance, written by Coralie Farja. This is tough. Anora is looking like it should win, but A Real Pain just took BAFTA, and like, I don't know. Anora has not been getting the screenplay love that I think everyone thought it was, and that's kind of shocking. And I'm not picking Baker for director or editing, but Sean Baker has to win something, right? He deserves it. Anora isn't my favorite film of the year, and I'm a huge Baker fan. And I honestly, in my personal opinion, and I know a lot of people are not going to like what I'm about to say, I think Anora is probably his 3rd or 4th best screenplay. That's just my opinion. He should have got this kind of love for Red Rocket or The Florida Project. He's made better movies than this and written better screenplays. And the fact that it took all the way to Anora for him to get his recognition is criminal. But I cannot leave Sean Baker empty-handed. A Real Pain is like a thorn in my side. So I'm going to pick Sean Baker to win for Anora in original screenplay. But it really could be A Real Pain, and I wouldn't be shocked. I could get this wrong. If I was picking, though, my favorite screenplay of the year is The Substance. So I would pick Coralie Farja, and it would just be awesome to see her get an Oscar for something for this incredible movie, even though The Substance will be an Oscar-winning film. All right, last but absolutely not least, we did jump out of order because I felt like we had to do this last. Best Picture. Nominees are Anora, directed by Sean Baker. The Brutalist, directed by Brady Corbet. Complete Unknown, directed by James Mangold. Conclave, directed by Edward Berger. Dune 2, directed by my man Denis Villeneuve. Amelie Perez, directed by Jacques Audiard. I'm Still Here, directed by Walter Sales. Ickle Boys, directed by Ramel Ross. The Substance, directed by Coralie Farja. And Wicked, directed by Jean M. Chu. This race was looking pretty clear and cut for a while. It was looking like Anora was about to just run away with this thing. At first, the beginning of the race, I thought it was the Brutalist. I was like, that's cool. I'm cool with that pick. I thought they had it. Then Anora started surging, and I thought Anora had it. But then, in the last couple weeks, Conclave coming up major. Conclave coming up major, man. Crazy. Does the Academy nominate a raunchy sex film like Anora and give it Best Picture? Or do they go with a more safe, family-oriented film that is still good and very liked by a lot of people in Conclave? It's hard to say. And because I think that the Academy is trying to diversify its wins and get different and more people into it, I do feel like Anora could win this. If it won this, I'm cool with that. I don't think it's the best picture of the year, but I would be okay with Anora winning this, and I'd be very happy for Sean Baker, Mikey Madison, your Borisov, Karen Culligan, everybody involved in Anora. But I have to take a risk, and I am going to predict an upset in Conclave to win Best Picture, a film that I absolutely adore. And I think about it quite a bit, and I think it has a lot to say about a lot. And I know Anora is a great story, but it's not a story we've never seen before. Conclave, although not a story we've also never seen before, something different in a weird way that's very relevant to what's going on right now. And I think Conclave has picked up a lot of steam. It's going to win editing. It's going to win adapted screenplay. Nice path to a Best Picture win. I am going to pick Conclave to win. And my pick, who I would pick to win Best Picture, if Dom Me was picking, The Substance is my favorite movie of the year. But I feel in my heart of hearts that The Brutalist is a great pick for Best Picture. We don't get films like this very often. It's got a There Will Be Blood feel with great performances, beautiful direction. It's going to win a bunch of good below the lines. And I just think The Brutalist was, a great feat in cinema, and I loved it. I know a lot of people hated the second half. I thought the second half was great. I thought Felicity Jones was great. I don't know. I don't know why everyone hates the second half so much. I don't love the ending, I will say, but man, for 3 hours and 15 minutes, I was having a blast. It flew by for me, and I would pick The Brutalist to win Best Picture. So, guys, those are my Oscar predictions for the year. Tell me what I'm getting wrong, what I'm getting right. Who are y'all's predictions? I really want to know. Drop them down in the comments if you made it to the end. I appreciate it. Guys, do me a favor, like and subscribe. Help me hit my goal, 700 subs within the spring. Follow me on Letterboxd, Ralph Vader. I'll link that below. I got a podcast with my buddy, The Cutting Room Floor. I'll link that below for more movie content. Let me know if there's a film or topic you'd like me to review after the Oscars. I'm going to be getting back to reviews. Guys, I'll be back next week. We will recap the Oscars. All right, and that'll be fun. And hopefully we have some fun surprises. Hopefully Demi Moore's taking home a statue. Guys, don't forget the popcorn.